The story opens with Toya Senji pushing himself past his limits, so desperate for any form of talent that he is almost willing to throw his life away for it. With a crazed smile on his face, he presses a knife against his own neck. A few days earlier at school, the students are all gossiping about a strange man covered in flower petals who has suddenly become viral near a convenience store. Some students insist they have actually seen him, while others think the whole thing is just a fake rumor. Soon, they begin wondering if this creepy figure could possibly be a serial killer. Toya, however, tries his best to concentrate on studying, even though the non-stop noise around him keeps pulling his attention away. At that moment, the first class starts, and the teacher tells everyone that a transfer student has arrived. He asks Heido Luo Buffett to step inside and introduce herself, but she completely ignores him. Instead, she walks directly to Toya's desk, introduces herself only to him, and takes the seat beside him. Toya does not react much and clearly shows no interest. Later that evening, while Toya is on his way to cram school, the same girl suddenly shows up and jumps right in front of him. Toya asks how she even knows about him, but Haito does not give a normal answer. Instead, she grabs his cheeks and says he does not look like the serious bookworm she had heard about. Toya brushes her off again, tells her he is already late, and continues walking. As Toya leaves, Haito begins talking to someone named Neumann and says that this boy is definitely the one they were looking for, because he strongly reminds her of someone familiar. At the same time, in another place, the petal-covered man, whose name is Fish, is seen torturing a woman before eventually killing her. Later that night, Toya looks at his mock exam results and feels unhappy with his performance. A blurry memory briefly crosses his mind, but he cannot clearly remember what it is. He starts wishing that he had even a single talent, no matter what kind it might be. For some reason, the thought of living an average life like everyone else feels impossible for him to accept. He reaches his hand toward the moon, silently hoping that one day he can become someone with real value. Meanwhile, the police arrive at the serial killer's location after receiving a report about screams coming from the area. When they do not find anything right away, they start assuming it may have just been a fake emergency call. But then they notice a man crouching on the ground and move closer to see what is happening. Fish warns them to go away while he continues drinking the blood of the woman he has already killed. One officer quickly points his gun at him, but by then, it is already too late. Nearby, Toya notices a strange smell in the air. When he looks around, he is shocked to find the two police officers lying dead on the ground. He then sees the killer, the petal man, loudly talking about how fortunate he is to possess his talent. But instead of being terrified, Toya clenches his teeth and keeps asking himself why he alone has been left without any talent. At that moment, Haito appears behind him and asks whether he feels jealous after witnessing a real talent right in front of his eyes. She then calls the killer by his name, Fish, and says that he looks like he is enjoying himself far too much. Fish tells her that he is thankful to her for giving him such a power, and to repay that kindness, he wants to turn both of them into a tasty dish. He rushes at them with a butcher knife in hand, but the girl instantly teleports a short distance away, pulling Toya with her at the same time. After that, she speaks to Neumann and thanks her, saying her prediction about the situation was completely accurate. Toya asks who Neumann is, but instead of answering him properly, she presses a device against his chest. She then talks about a special item that can bring back a person's talent from their previous life, and asks him whether he would use it if he ever got the chance. Immediately after saying that, she takes out a small dagger and cuts her own throat while softly saying the words, "branch of reincarnation." Toya becomes alarmed and quickly stands up to help her. Suddenly, petals begin flowing out of Haito's throat as she summons two swords named Harasogi and Kubikari, while her appearance changes into a powerful and impressive outfit. Fish quickly charges at her, hoping to kill her before she can act, but she blocks his attack and proudly shows off her strength while revealing her past life name as Musashi Haranobu Miyamoto. Toya, completely lost and confused, watches everything unfold as Neumann explains that people can recover abilities from their previous lives through the branch of reincarnation. Those who succeed in doing this are called returners. At the same time, Haito is locked in a fierce sword battle with Fish, and she actually seems excited while fighting him. She pushes him back and forces him to defend himself. When Fish throws a tree toward her, she cuts through it with almost no effort using her swords. Toya then asks Neumann about the petals coming from her body, and Neumann explains that those petals are the sign that someone has successfully awakened the talent from their former life. Meanwhile, Fish begins throwing pots at Haito, but everything he throws is easily sliced apart by her blades. Neumann then explains that the people who gain these powers are divided into different sides. On one side, There are decent people who use their abilities for good. But on the other side, there are killers and criminals like Fish, who hurt people without mercy or guilt. These dangerous individuals are known as sinners. Sadly, nature makes no difference between sinners and great returners, because both are brought back through the same process. Neumann warns Toya that reincarnation comes with a serious risk. There is an equal chance that he could die while trying, or he might survive but still fail to gain any talent, leaving him as ordinary as before. She admits that all of this is a lot for him to understand and that he may feel unsure. But instead of being scared, Toya smiles like a lunatic at her warning. He is actually excited because he finally sees a possible way to gain a talent. Meanwhile, during the fight, Fish mocks Haido and says she is not as impressive as he expected. This makes her become serious. She then releases her special technique known as the eight-headed corpse. At first, Fish thinks he has successfully blocked her strike, but sadly for him, that attack still has 7 more blows left. Before he can react, he is cut apart into several pieces. Haito then tells Neumann that the mission is complete, but she soon finds out that Toya has already left to take his own chance. The story then shifts back to the present, where petals begin coming out from Toya's neck. He falls into a nightmare where he is running after his brother Seiya, desperately yelling for him to slow down. The following morning, Haito wakes him up and happily tells him that he has become a returner, just like her. After that, the two of them go to a park, where Toya begins talking about a painful part of his past. He explains that he once had an older brother named Seiya, who was naturally gifted at almost everything. Because of his brother's talent, Toya was forced to live under heavy expectations, but he could never reach them and was seen as a useless failure. While Seiya kept earning medals and praise in every field, Toya was constantly insulted and treated like a worthless child. He then reveals that, sadly, Seiya died when he was still young. Somehow, just as things often go in tragic stories, Toya was blamed for his brother's death and was eventually thrown out of his own home. After hearing this, Haito clearly understands why Toya wanted talent so badly. He wanted to prove that he had value, and also get revenge in some way for how badly his parents had treated him. Haito then brings Toya to meet Neumann, a strange girl with a horn growing out of her head. Haito asks Neumann where the others are, and Neumann explains that they are all away on missions, handling dangerous evil returners. She gives Toya a simple explanation and says their group is called the Forest of the Greats. Their main purpose is to take down evil people like Fish. She tells Toya that he should see this reincarnation as a blessing from heaven and use his new power to help humanity. After that, Neumann gives Haito and Toya a mission to face a sinner named Vlad III. However, she does not simply order them to kill him right away. Instead, she tells them to make the fight last as long as possible because there is something specific she wants to study. Still, to avoid unnecessary danger, she warns them that once 10 minutes have passed, they must finish him off. If the battle continues beyond that point, Vlad might figure out a way to fight back against their talents. Neumann also tells them that the mission will take place 2 days later, because she has some other matters to handle first. Later on, Toya sees a girl chasing a thief who has stolen her bag, and he decides to test his new ability. When he moves into action, his talent is revealed as the flashy right hand of the thief, which allows him to intercept the criminal and recover the stolen belongings before the girl can catch up. Toya returns everything to her and calmly tells her that she does not need to worry anymore. For a short moment, the girl feels thankful and calm, but then she suddenly realizes that the designer bag itself was worth far more than anything inside it. Without wasting another second, she starts chasing after the thief again. Neumann tells Toya that his ability is not easy to use, because he must be within 70 centimeters of the target in order to steal anything. Because of that short range, his power is not very useful for direct attacks. However, Toya quickly thinks of a clever way to use it and decides to steal the thief's blood instead, causing the man to collapse from extreme blood loss and anemia. 2 days later, Toya and Haito finally arrive at the place where they are supposed to hunt Vlad down. The moment they appear, Vlad starts mocking Haito for showing up without backup. He complains that he hates being underestimated and says they are treating the battle like some kind of joke. Without hesitation, Vlad activates his technique, causing sharp metallic thorns to burst out everywhere around them. Haito counters with her own move, but she soon gets pushed into defense because Vlad's speed and accuracy make it nearly impossible for her to close the distance safely. Haito admits to Neumann that, judging from the situation, she is not even sure how to get near the sinner without putting her life at serious risk, let alone stall him. Neumann stays calm and tells her to wait, explaining that she is studying the fight carefully to find the best opening. She warns Haito not to move in yet, because if she rushes forward carelessly, she will lose her head instantly. Neumann stresses that they must wait for the perfect chance, but Haito becomes slightly overconfident and smiles, deciding that she wants to attack anyway. Neumann quickly contacts Toya and tells him to prepare himself, because she suspects Haito's pride as a swordswoman may push her into danger. Just as Neumann feared, Haito falls directly into Vlad's trap and gets badly wounded. Neumann orders Toya to pull back and says the mission has failed, but Toya refuses to escape without at least trying to do something. Toya moves behind Vlad near a wall and manages to steal something from inside his body, barely missing what was probably the man's heart. Vlad becomes terrified and says there should have been a solid wall behind him before collapsing to the ground. But after a moment, he rises again and says Toya must still be inexperienced because he wasted the best chance he had. Vlad then gets ready to attack Toya, but suddenly a powerful black aura spreads around everyone. The aura seems to belong to the sinner's leader, who commands Vlad to withdraw. Vlad tries to argue and insists that he can still win, but the pressure from the threat forces him to obey. Before the dark aura disappears, the mysterious voice comments that Toya looks strangely familiar, as if he reminds them of someone. With that, the mission comes to an end, and the two are told to return. A few days later, Toya runs into Vlad III once again, who has come back to recover what Toya stole from him. It is then revealed that the thing Toya took was actually Vlad's talent, and now Vlad wants it returned. Toya grins and mocks the older man, asking how embarrassing it will be when he has to explain that someone stole his talent from him. Vlad accepts this, admitting that even talking about such a thing would be humiliating. Toya immediately activates his talent, but this time his reincarnation is not the same as before because he has also taken in Vlad's ability. He uses his skill, called the Spoils of the Thief, and draws directly from Vlad's own power. With that strength, he easily defeats Vlad by using his talent, the Lord Impaler, against him. Toya then tells the fallen Vlad that he should be thankful his power now belongs to someone who knows how to use it properly. Toya has completely lost himself, laughing wildly as his hunger for power grows stronger and stronger, while the thought of surpassing his brother Saya pushes him even further. At the same time, back at headquarters, Neumann stares at a family photo and remembers Saya asking whether he could see everything that was happening. It seems that all of this is moving exactly according to her plan. And with that, episode 1 comes to an end. Like and subscribe to stay tuned for more episodes like this.